Hello everybody, welcome back to the e-learning space of MGM Higher Secondary School, Bokaro. This is the second video for lesson number 4 of English Grammar for class 8. In our previous video, we started the lesson titled Pronouns. It is one of the parts of speech. As we already know, let us once again go through the recap of the definition. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is that word which takes the place of a noun. Or you can say pronouns are words which are used in place of a noun. Like them, they, he, him, she, her, it. So in our previous video, we have dealt with pronouns and the types of pronouns in details. In this video, we are going to go through the summary of the lesson along with the textual exercises. Here is a quick summary of the different kinds of pronouns that we have dealt in detail in our previous video. Personal pronouns, as we know, they take place of the common and the proper noun, and they can be of two types. They can either be the subject or they can be the object. In reflexive pronouns, we learned that these pronouns show the action done by the subject and it returns to it. The action done by the subject refers back to the subject itself. Similarly, we have demonstrative pronoun. From the name itself, it is very clear that demonstrative pronouns demonstrate or point out the objects which they are referring to. Relative pronouns, they introduce a clause to noun or a pronoun preceding it, means before it. Distributive pronouns, they refer to things one at a time. They pick out the things one at a time. We have emphatic pronouns. From the word emphatic means emphasis. They emphasize the subject by whom the action is done. Now comes interrogative. As we very well know, interrogative means questions. So these kinds of pronouns ask questions. Possessive pronouns, from the name again, it is quite clear. There's something that shows possession, a pronoun that shows ownership or possession. Now these are just a quick summary. For details, please you revisit the video 1. Here is an exercise related to this skeletal diagram. There are 10 questions to it. I shall discuss 5 with you and the rest 5 you are gonna do it on your own. Who, whose, whom, which, that. So these are the pronouns which are used to show the relation between the clause with the noun preceding it. So these are relative pronouns. I, we, you, he, she, they, it. Personal pronouns, because these are used in place of common or proper nouns. Each, every, either, neither. These denote particular things or one thing at a time, which is the characteristics of distributive pronouns. This, that, these, those, pointing out something. Hence, these are demonstrative pronouns. Fifth one is quite easy. Who, whom, whose, which, what. These are the pronouns which are used to ask questions. Hence, these are interrogative pronouns. Coming to the second part or exercise B of the lesson. Hello, I am Farhan. Let me tell you a little about my family. In the sentences that I tell you, underline the personal pronouns and write the nouns they replace. So this you shall do on your own. Let me help you with the first sentence. I have 6 family members. First come grandmother and grandfather. They head our family. So what is the pronoun here? They. And which nouns are they replacing? Grandmother and grandfather. So you will underline they and then you will mention what are the nouns that this pronoun has replaced. Few sentences are there. Complete it on your own. Coming to exercise C of the lesson, replace the personal pronouns with possessive pronouns and rewrite the sentences in your notebook. So this you're going to do in your English copy. How we are going to do it? Let's see. This book is, in the bracket, a personal pronoun is given, that is you. So what is the possessive pronoun of you? This book is yours. That book is bracket I. Again, it is a personal pronoun. And what is the possessive noun pronoun for I? That book is mine. These books are bracket we. What is the possessive pronoun for we? That is a personal pronoun. These books are ours. Similarly, 4 more sentences to go. Meeta and Giri came to our house last night. Tonight we are going to dash. Now you have to use a possessive pronoun in place of Meeta and Giri. The paintings are he and the sketches are her. Again, you have to replace he and her with their possessive pronouns. There is a weaver bird in our garden. This nest is it. You have to make it into possessive pronoun. My road to office is the same as her. Her is a personal pronoun. You have to change it into possessive pronouns, and you will do this exercise in your English copies. Now, once again, a quick review of what are interrogative pronouns. They ask questions. Who is there? Which is the house? What are those? Whose was that plant? For whom did you cook so much? They are used to ask questions. So here is a exercise related to it. You're going to do it on your own. Let me just help you with the first one. Fill in the blanks with the correct interrogative pronoun. Dash is the capital of India. What is the capital of India? One more. Shall we plant here roses, lilies, or sunflowers? What shall we plant here? Roses, lilies, or sunflowers? Do the rest on your own. Coming to demonstrative pronouns, we already know demonstrative pronouns are those pronouns which identify or point out a noun in the sentence, like this, that, these, those. Okay, they change according to singular and plural. Now, there are certain differences between a demonstrative adjective and demonstrative pronoun. Always remember the definition. In our video regarding adjectives, we have learned that a demonstrative adjective is a word which is always describing a noun. Okay? But a demonstrative pronoun is always used in place of a noun. So in adjective, it is or the noun is already there and the word demonstrative adjective is describing the noun. But in a demonstrative pronoun, the pronoun has been replaced by that certain pronoun. Here is an example. I found this book. What book or which book? This book. So here it is an adjective. This is the book that I found. It is pointing out to a certain noun. This is a pronoun here. Now we have certain exercise related to demonstrative pronouns. Look at it. Here are 2 bouquets. Do you like this or that? Okay. Let's go for a walk. That is a good idea. Rest of the 3 you can easily fill up with the demonstrative pronoun. Indefinite pronouns. There are certain pronouns that refer to unspecified things, means not specific. They do not refer to any particular person, place, or thing. They can be either singular or plural. As we know, words like any, anyone, anybody, anything, few, none, some, somebody, someone, something, no one, nothing, nobody. These are indefinite pronouns. They do not refer to any one particular person in general. So let us see the exercises related to indefinite pronouns. I went to my friend's house, but Dash opened the door. Nobody opened the door. Dash should come prepared for the class tomorrow. Everyone should come prepared for the class tomorrow. Right? Don't worry so much. Dash happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Last two, I hope you can do on your own. Come to relative pronouns. Let me mention once again, children, this video is a summary of the previous video plus the textual exercises. So if you have any confusion in any kind of pronoun, please refer to video 1, and still if you're confused, we are going to discuss it in the online classes. Now, relative pronouns introduce a clause to a noun or a pronoun preceding it. The relative pronoun must be of the same number and person as the antecedent and agree with the verb. In the subject-verb agreement, we always have understood that the verb must agree with the subject. So when the relative pronoun acts as a subject, we must make sure that the number and person is similar, agrees with the verb. For example, let us see the exercises that are given here. Always remember to place the relative pronoun as close to the antecedent as possible. This is the house which I grew up in. This is the house which I grew up in. My friend's father, who is a doctor, treated me when I had measles. The rest three, please do it on your own. Rewrite these sentences in your notebook, placing relative clauses appropriately. I live with my family in a small house in Porbandar, which includes my grandparents. So here, what is the problem? The relative pronoun is placed in the wrong position. You have to see how to make it as close to the antecedent as possible. You will do this in your English classwork copies. Let me help you with the first one. I live with my family, which includes my grandparents, in a small house in Porbandar. Second one as well. I was walking in the garden this morning which had beautiful roses. I was walking in the garden which had beautiful roses this morning. Rest three, I hope you can do on your own. Emphatic pronouns, which also use myself, but the difference is that you are used to lay emphasis, means to stress upon its usage. For example, when pronouns such as myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves are used to lay emphasis on the subjects in a sentence, they are called emphatic pronouns. So when we are using an emphatic pronoun, it is laying more stress on the subject. I will bake the cake myself. We are emphasizing on the fact that I am going to bake the cake. I myself told him not to do it. Again, we are emphasizing on the fact that I was the person who myself told the person not to do certain thing. There is a slight difference between reflexive and emphatic, which we have discussed in detail in our previous video. Now, with that previous knowledge, let us quickly discuss the exercise given here. Coming to exercise F, as I said, based on our previous knowledge of reflexive and emphatic pronouns, and here are the picture cues, hints. Looking at the pictures, it's up to you whether you want to form a reflexive pronoun sentence or an emphatic pronoun sentence, but make sure you mention what you are making. Looking at the first picture, I'll go with emphatic pronoun. I cooked the dishes myself. So I'm stressing on the fact that I cooked the dishes myself. This is emphatic pronoun. The second one. I myself cleaned the house. I myself cleaned the house. Again, I'm putting emphasis on the fact that I was the person who did this. Rest of the three, quite easy. A snowman, two children. Here's a father figure with two children building a dog house, and a boy rowing the boat. So it's up to you whether you want to make a reflexive pronoun sentence or an emphatic pronoun sentence. Now coming to distributive pronouns, we did this in our first video as well as in the very beginning of this video. It means to refer to person, places or animal things at one at a time, not all together but picking them one at a time. And they are always singular in number, that is why they're always followed by singular verbs. For example, each refers to every one of the number of nouns to be taken individually. For example, each of you will have to take the test. Either means one of the two. Either of the answers is acceptable. Neither means not the one or the other of two. For example, neither of them was present in the class. When more than two nouns are being referred to, use any, no one or none. For example, none of you will go there. Coming to exercise G, based on our knowledge of distributive pronouns, we are going to correct these sentences and write which is the correct pronoun to be used. Neither of the four people believed Nafisa. Now children, just now we have learned, as well as in our last video we learned, that neither is used to pick up between two subjects. But here we know there are four people. They're not just two but four. Hence neither is a wrong pronoun. We are going to underline that. And in this blank, which pronoun will fit? Remember, in our last slide we just now discussed, whenever there are more than two people, we use the pronoun none, no one or any. So which is the best or the most suitable grammatically here? None of the four people believed Nafisa. Second one you will do on your own. Come to the third one. You may buy either of the three books. Again, either is an option between two. So there are three books. This is a wrong usage. You may buy any of the three books. Rest you are going to do on your own. Coming to the additional exercises, fill in the blanks with the correct pronouns given in brackets. This is your pen, but that is mine. Possessive pronoun. She is as wise as me. Personal pronoun. That notebook is hers. Again, possessive pronoun. You're going to similarly complete the rest of the exercises till 15. All the pronouns are mixed up here. It's not like only personal and possessive are here. You will have to see which one is distributive, interrogative, everything is mixed. This would be a good worksheet for you. Kindly do it on your own. Fill in the blanks with the suitable pronoun. One has been done for you. The baby cried itself to sleep. Let me help you with the next one. The birds found themselves trapped in the hunter's net. Plural, themselves, V-E-S. This is my grandfather's house. He built it himself and lived here all his life. He, personal, himself, reflective. Rest again, you'll complete on your own. Any confusion, discussion will be due in the online. Coming to exercise C, in these sentences, underline the pronouns and draw arrows to point out the nouns they replace. One has been done. David knows how he is supposed to act in a situation that is not favorable. So he is the pronoun that is replacing the noun David, hence they have pointed it out. Coming to the second one, Maria cried aloud as she knew she had lost her way. Maria is being replaced by the pronoun she. So we are going to make an arrow from she to Maria. Mohan was glad to meet his grandparents. So in this clause or in this part of the sentence, his is used in place of Mohan. We are going to put an arrow. Who had just reached the city with lots of gifts for him. Once again, who over here is used for grandparents. So we are going to point out grandparents. And even in the last one, him again is Mohan. Rest of the sentences you shall do it on your own. Okay, coming to the article writing part, here is a composition that we have already discussed article writing in a separate video. What is an article? A piece of writing where the writer expresses an opinion about a certain topic or issue that interests him or her, and there are generally 5 paragraphs. One is introduction, 3 paragraphs are body, and last one is conclusion. Your article should always have an interesting title. Your readers should be very involved in your article. You should give real life examples, and you have to write in a clear and simple style with, of course, correct grammar. One question is given here for you. Write an article about the impact of social media on the youth today in 150 to 200 words. You're supposed to do this in your vocabulary copy or a writing copy that you're maintaining. That brings us to the end of all the exercises. Let us see what assignments you have to do from this lesson. All the textual exercises have to be completed in the grammar book, and exercise C on page 26 and exercise E on page 28 have to be done in the English copy. And from page number 32, exercise A has to be done in the English copy. That's all for pronouns second video. Thank you everyone. Take care.